All right, people, it's 12 o'clock right here on Showbiz Now. Of course, latest updates in the world of sports coming at you wherever you are. This is JoyPrime. My name is KMJ, and you are welcome to the show. All right, so we're talking about some some details of entertainment news that have come up right here. And the very first story we're talking about, local news, is the man, Pastor Josh Lai, and it says that he was not suspended from ICGC. He actually left on his own, and that's what we are talking about right now. Musician and man of God Josh Lai has denied the reports that he was suspended from the International Central Gospel Church on accounts of sexual assaults and infidelity. Now, sometime last year, a letter dated March 29, 2017, issued by the Church Council and cited by myjoyonline.com said the decision was taken to suspend Reverend Lai after it received a report against the pastor. It also added that Reverend Josh Lai is being withdrawn from the pulpit and thereby the Doxa Temple with immediate effect. Now, this is to allow the committee carry out its work uninterrupted. However, the musician tells Joy News he moved from the church on his own account and asked that the General Overseer, Pastor Mensa Otabil, actually wanted him to stay.
Formally and officially to ICGC.
Okay.
Yes, as the pastor in charge of music with Dr. Otabil for 7 years, and then I was sent to start my own assembly.
Okay.
And I pastored that. I started from the scratch for 5 years, and now I've started my church.
Which is what?
Charis Center International.
Charis Center International. Okay,
yes.
so you're no longer with ICGC.
No,
is it because of what happened?
Yeah, no, it was more like a transition.
Okay.
But then definitely something brings it up.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that that actually was the main. Yes, it has a lot to do with my orientation about the gospel.
Okay. So you don't have any bad blood between yourself and the church ICGC?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
I spoke to Doc and I told him I had to leave.
Okay.
He was not in the affirmative. He
Right.
felt that I should stay.
Okay.
Yes, but I insisted that
Okay.
no, I think I want to live. Yes.
All right.
And that's Pastor Josh Lai on the church. Now, he also rubbished claims by singer Miss Bell that she actually drove Miss Bell from the church, and that's what the man has got to say on that.
Well, I think that it should be really brushed aside. I mean, I'm a pastor. How do you send people away from your church? It's not.
You never had any problem with her concerning her dressing as well?
No, not at all. Not at all. I really embraced her, and I think that she can attest to that fact. I embraced her. Everybody around embraced her. She's not. I don't. Because of the gospel I preach, I don't see anybody as the devil's child.
Right.
Bible said that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So Christ didn't wait for us. Yeah, so everybody is a candidate for eternity. And Christ died for everybody. And so I see everybody in that image and in that light. Because if God doesn't look down on anybody, who am I to look down on somebody? And the point is that I'm not done with my frailties. I'm not perfect yet. So why should I look at somebody and judge them? All right, so you don't judge people, and I don't judge people. Yes, I embrace. I mean, she knows that. I'm sure she may want to say something. Yes, but she knows in her heart. I've never, yes, never.
So that's the issue of Miss Bell as well. So we wish the pastor well. I mean, whatever it is, I'm sure they've settled, so we'll move on. Away from that, how do we air our grievances for support when we don't even have a desk at the ministry compared to the arts ministry compared to the ministry itself? And Dante Mensah has actually spoken about the tourism ministry and the arts industry as well. I mean, he spoke about the fact that they don't even have a desk to work on. And so when people actually weigh the two sides, when you're talking about the art industry and then you're talking about the ministry itself, he thinks that it's not something that we're supposed to be comparing. This is what he has to say on that.
You know, 2016, we saw the bill being passed, and it's important for that bill to be operationalized, for people to actually, for the government, for the authority to be set up. Can you imagine a whole ministry, a ministry that we is supposed to kind of fight our cause, doesn't even have a desk meant for actors and actresses or the creative industry. we have a ministry responsible for tourism. Tourism, we all know, is doing well. But when we talk about creative arts, when you go to the ministry as we speak, there's no decks, they're indicating that this is for the creative arts and so on. So when we have grievances, how do we carry them across? So.
How do we air them across? And that's the problem they seem to be having at the ministry, the arts ministry, and the tourism itself. Away from that, let's talk about some international news. And Katy Perry is up in the news, and it says that her mom actually prayed her entire life to ensure that she comes back to God. Here's Katy Perry.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sit quietly.
Katy Perry revealed her mother prayed her whole life the singer would come back to God, and said that she's now focused on spirituality and heart wholeness while in her 30s. Now, Perry 33 said her parents were not big fans of her 2008 hit, I Kissed a Girl. Now, my mom has prayed for me my entire life, hoping I would come back to God. Perry said, I never left him. I was just a little bit secular. I was more materialistic and more career driven. Now, the singer said now that she's in her 30s, she's involved to become more about spirituality and heart wholeness. Now, her change comes after she met Pope Francis in April with her mother and boyfriend Orlando Bloom. Now, Perry was in Vatican City during the United to Cure International Conference. Perry also said on Tuesday that she's been a big fan of the Pope, and she says it's a combination of compassion, humility, sternness, and refusal. He is a rebel for Jesus. Perry told the magazine he is bringing the church back to humility and connecting with people. He's very humble and not frivolous. All right, so we're going to go into box office and check into some of the celebrities out there, the stars out there who unfortunately couldn't actually make it to the famous stage. When you see them and you say these are very famous people. Number 3, we have Amanda Bynes.
Speaking.
This is Doris Del Rio down in parking. Do you drive a Saturn, ma'am?
Yes.
Well, it's
parked on a dock.
I'm not gonna say that.
Come on.
Hello?
Your car's parked on a dock.
Your car's parked on a dog.
Amanda Bynes was a prominent child star in the late 1990s and early 2000s with her hits Nickelodeon series All That and The Amanda Show. Now, unlike other child stars, Bynes achieved great success after leaving Nickelodeon to pursue more mature roles. But unfortunately, she couldn't achieve fame like everybody is supposed to see her now. Lindsay Lohan is another person we're talking about.
Don't freak out, okay? I think we should switch places. When camp's over, I'll go back to London as you, and you go back to California as me. What? Annie, we can pull it off. We're twins, aren't we? Hallie, we're totally...
Now, Lindsay Lohan, when she was just 3 years old, Lindsay actually had a very, very beautiful career. I mean, she was all over in the faces of people, but unfortunately, she couldn't really get to that spot where everybody would like to say this is a superstar. So that's the lady we're talking about over there. She was in Disney's 1998 a remake of The Parent Trap that put her name on the map as well. And Lohan received multiple praises for her performance in the film, and it allowed her to continue her journey in Hollywood. The last person we're talking about is a Home Alone man that you've known over the years. Incredible actor, but unfortunately, he's actually nowhere to be found. Macaulay Culkin.
You never know what's up there.
There he is! No! I got you! I got him, Harry! I got him!
Notorious for his role as Kevin McAllister in the family comedy Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Macaulay Culkin became a famous child actor at just 10 years old. Unfortunately, dude couldn't continue to be the superstar that we've all wanted to see him as he was growing up. And so that's what it is on those who failed to be famous, child actors that failed to be famous. On that note, we're going to be wrapping up for today right here on Showbiz Now. God willing, we're back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. My name KMJ, and I was born to talk.